Let's try that again. Good morning. I am Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers. This is Tuned In Tarot, and we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find this external energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our environment. And if we want to shift those things and see change, we actually have to shift how we see and think about our experiences. I'm adding that addendum to the intro. If you've never been here before, thank you for joining me. This will be a wild ride for you, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. But if you're coming here from TikTok, thank you. Welcome. If you missed the Tell Me Everything spread, I did do one yesterday. It is not on YouTube because I now do them only. Good morning, Elizabeth. I now only do them on the members only section of my website. You can go to pearlspurse.com /member, and there's all the information there about what you need to do in order to see those very addictive spreads. And yesterday's was pretty good. It was pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. So go check it out. You can also book personal readings there, and you can find all the other social media. Good morning, Tina. Thank you for everyone saying I'm beautiful today. I did not brush my hair, and I don't feel that pretty, but it's fine. Thank you. Okay. We're going to start. We come here thinking we need something. Also, by the way, this is the divine check-in. So the way that this works is we look at the headspace of each part of self. Remember, this is not just one person. It's not a person that you're fixated on. It's a whole combination of energies that are embodied in one person. So if your person is a masculine, it doesn't mean that they only have masculine energy. I hope not. If they do, they're probably very distorted. And if you're a feminine, I hope that you have balance in your masculine energy. This is your energy because you're relating to it. If your person is close to it, it's probably because you attract people that really, really closely match your energy. You might be here because of the twin flame saga. Welcome. I'm sorry for you. I'm here for that too. But that, remember, is a label that you're putting on a person who really closely matches you and triggers you and is probably obsessed with you, and you're probably obsessed with them, and it's annoying. Okay, great. Glad we cleared that up. So you come here with a reason. Usually you think you need something. You think you need to come into union. You think you need a new job. You think you need to change your body or whatever. There's all kinds of reasons, but there's a real thing that you need. And if you can shift your ego's idea about what you need and focus instead on what the universe wants you to focus on, you will see it'll be a lot easier to say yes to things because your intuition is going to lead you in the direction of what you actually need. So here's what we actually need. The Four of Wands, completion. This is the card that I'm usually like, if you want to come here, then you want to see like union or whatever. And literally that's the card today. So if you came here because you were hoping that you would receive messages about celebrating marriage and relationships and union and coming together with your twin, because this is like the twin flame energy coming from the Four of Wands here. But also I love that in the Thoth Tarot, hang on, I'm going to close my window because the leaf blowers are so loud and obnoxious. Okay. That's a little better. So I like how in this depiction we have almost a Wheel of Fortune type of an energy. Like it's time, kind of a feeling of the clock or it's time, which is funny because if you saw my clip yesterday from the Tell Me Everything spread, I've been doing this thing, which I'm going to do today. And actually, I'm glad I just said this and pull the deck so I don't forget. I've been doing this thing where I pull some cards at the end and I pull like, what do you keep thinking about? You can't stop thinking about that's holding you back. What should you think about instead? And how do you go general so that you can do that? And when I did that for the Divine Feminine, I was like, what are you thinking about? What is driving you crazy? What is your problem? And it was the clock. So I love that today the union is like about the timing. It's like about wheels turning and shifting and changing. And I have said to myself over and over today, as I was getting ready, as I took my dog outside as I got my coffee ready and cooked for my dog, who I cooked for instead of myself. In classic Pisces rising energy and Venus and Virgo energy. So I took care of my dog's egg before I even made myself food. And all the while I was thinking, please, spirit guides, please, God, please, universe, please, self, tell a new story today. Tell the story of the quantum leap from the place we were to the place we want to be, so that when everybody gets up today, we don't come back tomorrow being like, oh, I'm still waiting and the blah, blah, blah. So either you stop waiting today or you don't have to wait anymore, or that's the story I want. And so to pull the Four of Wands and also to look at the Divine Feminine card right now, I just can't with it. This also says completion, which is because the Thoth Tarot puts words on the minor arcana. And so this literally says completion, which was the word I pulled out of a crossword tomorrow. So let's see it. Okay, that's what we need. No shit. Like, you know what's funny? Like the last few times I've done that position, usually I'll be like, this is what you think you need. And then they'll pull the card around and I'll be like, oh, wow, I didn't realize I needed that. I thought I needed this other thing. And like the last like couple of days, I pulled that card and been like, bitch, yes, I need it. Yesterday was the devil. I was like, bitch, yes, I need pleasure. Like, give it to me. Why? Okay. Let's do Divine Feminine side. So we do headspace first, heart space afterwards, and then we go over to the masculine. We do the same thing, and then we do all the oracles and heal everybody, and it's a great time, and we'll be here for a couple hours. Thanks for joining me. All right, top of the deck, overall headspace, Divine Feminine. What the fuck is she thinking about? The Four of Wands. But it's in reverse. Because the feminine thinks she doesn't need it anymore. And the universe is like, oh no, you do need this. And Divine Feminine right now / myself is like, are you fucking serious? I just spent how long trying to release this need for this marriage and union and twin flame garbage. And now you're like, oh, but you need it. I swear the universe is trying to kill me so that I can get up there and be more effective. Divine Feminine is thinking about how she's not in union. She's thinking about how she wants to be in union. She's thinking about how she doesn't want to think about the twin flame and wishes she could come into union with anyone else. Literally, like the person that is standing on the corner, like selling things right now, is looking better. She's like, he's got a stable career. He's here every day. He wakes up very early in the morning. He seems to have like a good work ethic. He's always friendly. He's smiling. I don't know. He looks like he might be 70 or so, but like he's probably wise. Like at this point, the guy on the street is looking really good. Even some of the homeless people, you're like, they kind of look like hipsters when you get right down to it. God, that's awful. That's awful. But like, have you been to Williamsburg before? All right, I'll stop. I'm very punchy today. She's like, what the fuck? Okay. I'm doing everything. I'm doing my passions. I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to do. I'm making myself better. My sister sent me this video yesterday that was like a TikTok of this girl being like, imagine people talk to you about other things the way they talk to single women about relationships. And it was literally like, oh, are you thirsty? Well, maybe you should just really adjust to thirstiness and get used to thirstiness, and rather than actually quenching your thirst. Oh, are you hungry? Well, I think you should like really just, sort of be able to handle a place of like where your hunger is really painfully hurting you and like you're not satiating. You should just get really used to that first. Like she just went on for everything, right down to like, oh, you want a toothbrush? You can just like use your finger. You know what I mean? Like I was like, bitch, go in, okay? And the Divine Feminine is feeling like this. She's like, I don't understand. I was like, can I have love? And the universe is like, of course you can. And you're like, great. And then it's like, you have to do all these things. You're like, that doesn't make any sense. Like you said I was worthy when I was born and I'm trying to make myself worthy. And the universe is like, no. You are worthy. You're just trying to realize it. And it's hard because a lot of people told you weren't. And a lot of people tell everybody they aren't every day on the TV and in all the books you read and all the things that we like imbibe in this culture. Like, oh, you're a woman? Well, you're not the same value as this. Oh, you're this color? Okay, well, you're not the same value as this color. Oh, you're this? Okay, well, you can't do that as well as this. Oh, you're that, this, and the other thing, right? And so divine feminine is like feeling the full frustration of being told not to need this and yet desire it. Stability in relationships, solid foundations, the ability to communicate with your person and have them communicate back, like the reflection of your own energy, the reciprocation. It's interesting. I don't always think about this card as a reciprocal energy, but in reality, it's the two wands that are exactly mirrored, right? So you can't get more reciprocal than, you move your hand, the other person moves their hand. Like, so divine feminine is like, she's probably like, I cannot believe that bitch pulled the Four of Wands as my fucking card of, and I'm, why? Okay, I feel that. So the niggling thing, this is the thing that's like worrying her in the back of the mind. Hello there, Renee. I'm just seeing your messages. So seeing the little niggling feeling going on there. Princess of Swords. So underlying all of her thoughts and all of her decisions and everything, we've got a card, which is the Page of Swords energy. It's a desire to be brave, a desire to be a curiosity, to satiate your curiosity, to pick up the sword and fight, even though you don't know how to wield it. It can be a little reckless in its energy, and it can be about spying, watching, seeing, looking, and we associate it frequently nowadays with social media, looking and seeing on social media. Now, what's really interesting is this could be that at the top of divine feminine's mind is the twin flame, and in the back of her mind, or the thing that's underlying every decision she makes, is watching, observing what this twin flame, who's clearly not here right now because this is in reverse, is doing. What's he doing? I can relate to this. It's like, well, we're at an impasse. There's really nothing else that can happen at this point. So what's he going to do? Is he going to just go into another relationship? Is he going to come forward? Is he going to act sad again like he has been? Is he going to act happy? Is he going to completely ignore me? Is he going to... So she's watching and looking and seeing. And the thing is, when you're watching and looking and seeing, you're holding on. So if you feel unstable in relationships right now, it might be because you're looking and seeing that it's not stable. And what's the problem is, you will find whatever you are looking for. And you think, no, I'm looking for him to be ready and come into union with me. And it's like, sure, there's a part of you that is looking for that. But the doubt and the fear and the worry and the anxiety and the anxious attachment that is coupled with this avoidant attached person, that part of you is sure that the other person isn't stable for you. So you get what you look for. And that's why the universe is like, don't look for this. Look for this. So let's figure out what else is going on. The first thing on her mind, the Four of Pentacles in reverse. 4-4, both in reverse. So one thing, when I see reversals like this, right, starting out from the very, very beginning of the spread, and we have this sense of frustration or like angsty feelings, I know as a reader that this is about to change drastically. That's why, like, we're seeing the main energy is in its reversal. This is about to change. It can also mean it has changed recently, but I know that for the feeling I'm getting right now, the divine feminine is fed up And the first thing on her mind is, I have to let go. I have to stop looking for what I don't want. I have to stop holding on to what the material reality is showing me, because the material reality is only going to show me what I'm seeking. And that is such a difficult thing to understand, but that is really true. If you really are free of worry and anxiety, then the reality shows you that you can be free of worry and anxiety. If you are anxious, the reality is going to show you that. That's how it works. So you have to let go of the fear, the anxiety, and you have to let go of your observation of reality. And when you see something you don't want, you have to detach yourself from the thought. So, like, if you sit with it, hold on to it, and feed it detail, it's going to start to become your reality. If you feel it, like think it, it causes a feeling, oh, I don't like that. And then detach and be like, that's not my reality. This sounds disassociative, but it is not disassociative. It is detachment. It is like, that doesn't align with the version of myself that I know is true. So I reject that. I will not feed that energy. And this has been working for me. It's a very subtle process at first, and you get better and better at it. And meditation helps, because meditation teaches you how to have thoughts and just observe the thoughts and not hook into them. And when you start to hook into them and you're like, and then you're just like, wait a minute, I'm starting to feel bad. You're like, oh, wait. I'm thinking about a bunch of stuff. Okay. Breathe. Okay. And then as soon as you breathe, you're detaching from the thoughts. You still have them. They're still there. Your twin is still in there, but you're just like, okay, go ahead. It's in there, whatever. I'm a mom, and as a mom and a caregiver of children, because I've nannied throughout my whole life as well, I am an expert at detaching from chaos. Like a lot of, like, my mom was insane. If a kid was being a kid, my mom would be like, oh my God, they're so noisy and they're messy and da da da. And I would be like, that's what fucking children are like. Like, how do you not fucking know that that's what children are like? Also, does it matter? Like, they made a mess, and then you go over to kids are so easy. You fucking go to a kid, they made a huge mess, and then you're like, oh my God, you know what? I have a wand, and I'm going to turn you into a super cleaner. And I'm ready. 1, 2, abracadabra, bibbidi boo. You're a fucking super cleaner. And now you're going to Mary Poppins the whole room clean. I'm going to close my eyes, and it's going to magically, everything's going to be back in the toy box. And the kid fucking does it. Because all you have to do to get a kid to chill out is play with them. You just have to play with them. If they're like being an asshole about something, you just have to turn it into a game and distract them from what they don't want. That's like literally what you do with children. And as an adult with children all around, like, my son is fucking Gemini. So he's always like making farting noises or like loud, annoying screeches or like hitting me. And I'm just like, okay, it's happening, but it doesn't affect me. I know that it's not personal that my son is making all these odd noises. He's an autistic, like, he's not autistic, but he has sensory processing disorder, and he has to constantly be making sounds. So like, it's fine. I detach. You have to treat your brain the same way. Detach from the egos, which is a little baby kicking and screaming. And then when you want your brain to do something that it's like, I don't want to do it, then you just turn it into a game and you play with it. You do like temptation bundling. You're like, hey, if you pick up your dishes from the living room and take it in the kitchen, while you're doing that, you can listen to your favorite true crime story, right? And then your brain's like, okay. So you're really going to, oh, I see that, sunshine. That's, for me, autistic children are the wave of the future because they just are relying on telepathy. So, and it's all just varying degrees of how we use our whole being. But so Divine Feminine is really working hard to let go of these thoughts, ideas about the material, because she can tell that her noticing what the material is like all the time is actually getting in her way. while she's trying to let go of someone, something, some observation, some experience, the next thing that's coming up is the Eight of Cups. Again, if she's letting go of something and then we're in the Eight of Cups and walking away. Also, can I tell you now, we have 4, 4, and 8. Stupid numbers. I hate them. So this feminine is like, how do I get a foundation? How do I get stability? Well, there's no stability here in my headspace in regards to this twin flame union or this soulmate or whoever I'm focused on. There's no stability here. This can also be about needing financial stability and trying to get it. But this is really more about looking around and seeing things not be how you want them and wanting to let that go. But we have lack of stability here, lack of stability here. What will create stability? A 4 and a 4 together, walking away. And in this card, it's such an interesting card. I always feel like she's sitting on the edge of a dock about to like push off into the water. That's like the image I get, probably because I was a swimmer. And so I think about sitting on the edge of the pool. She's vulnerable, right? She's naked. So she's completely vulnerable in this position. And these cups are aligning here on the sides. She actually has to swim past these cups to get to her higher calling here, which right now looks like either a sun rising or a sun setting. And in the true Smith-Waite imagery, we see here a sun and a moon together. So this is the union that you're going towards. To go towards her union, her higher calling, she has got to leave all of these things behind. And she has to either close her eyes and just swim right through it, or she has to like pay attention to everything that she's going to say goodbye to. So this is in the present moment. There are feminines who are preparing to walk away or have walked away towards their higher calling, which is what? Sacred union. So sacred union being the sun and moon together. But when the sun and moon come together and you have sacred union, you can have sacred union, and you have sacred union within. You can have that sacred union without, but you can't have it if you stay back here. It's not here, it's there. So she's realizing that and she's like, I gotta go. What is she going towards? The Hierophant. There's nothing more stable than a pyramid. And a pyramid actually is strangely, it has all this power. It's healing. It's like electromagnetic. It was most likely a free energy source back in the day when, it was so quote unquote primitive, and probably they just, everything was fucking wireless. Come on. So this is the most stable energy. It's the highest, it's the peak, it's knowledge, it's insight, it's wisdom, it's a higher level learning, it's authority, rigidity, structure, tradition, and marriage. It's often associated with marriage. And to have the Four of Wands, which is the minor arcana version of the Hierophant marriage aspect, this is different, and it has a lot of different meanings, but the marriage that is implied is the sacred union. And to have this here, we know that Divine Feminine is interested in commitment to one individual. And if this individual who is the twin flame that she has been observing, put it like this, if this is appearing unstable, then her only choice is to turn her back on the instability. Can you believe this reading today? She must, this was like this. She must turn her back on the unstable energy and do what? Well, if you're a religious person, or a spiritual person, I should say, because most of us here are not religious. We are mostly spiritual. But if you're a spiritual person, then you will see this as walking away from an external manifestation of potentially your twin or soulmate, and instead going towards God. So your divine connection, the higher connection. It's like, I know that I can't get to this person until I fully commit to my higher level understanding, to my spiritual development. Clarifying the Four of Pentacles in reverse, another 8. Isn't that so fascinating? So far, the only numbers we've had are 4s and 8s. And then we've had 5s, 4 5s. And I guess the page has 1 sword, but we've got only 4 and 5s right now that I can see. So divine feminine's financial stability could be implied here because this is the 8 of Pentacles. It is in reverse, and it is the feminine who is like working on her art. She's creating something. She's making something. So divine feminine is having this mental realization that if she doesn't let go of what is actually happening in the reality, some aspect of what she wants to do in the world will not be fully realized. So she's like, if I keep focusing on this fucking person, situation, etc., I'm never going to get any of my work done. I'm never going to achieve financial stability myself. I'm never going to reach my peak if I don't let go. And this could also mean letting go of some kind of a material world job that doesn't honor your passions. And it can mean letting go of the way that you thought you were going to be. Like maybe, like I always had this self-concept that I was going to be in music and that I would work really hard at it and become an expert, which I fucking did. And then I was like, you know what? I'm even going to do electronic music because there's few women who do that. And I love electronic music and I want to have even more skills so that I could be more employable in the industry. And then I came out here and did everything I thought that I should do. And I met people and I got connected and I've done shows at some good venues out here. And I have released some powerful tracks one in particular I just released in July that I made myself. But I always thought that when I got TikTok followers or Instagram followers, it was going to be from this music that I was told to do from childhood. And yet I could never get my music to make me feel financially stable. I could never get it to happen. And every time I would look for stability, I would never see it. And then along came tarot. I've done tarot since my son is 16 now. So I've done it he'll be 16 this year. So I've done about 17 years. And I did it for friends and myself. I tried to read for myself. I wasn't successful for reading for myself until I started to do these readings where I was reading for the collective, because when I was reading for the collective, I wasn't so invested. My ego wasn't so invested. So I was able to hear my own messages because they weren't about me anymore. And that taught me this big, huge lesson. And then I started doing these messages for everyone. And it was this huge thing. And now I have almost 11,000 followers on TikTok. And it came from something that I didn't expect it to come from. And so I'm thinking that I'm called to tell you this because this is this position, which is like, you don't even know where your stability is actually going to come from. And you might have thought it was going to come from one place and ignored something else. And particularly if you have a person that you have associated with this Four of Wands, this is almost like the universe being like, what if you're wrong? And you're feeding all of this energy, time, curiosity, and holding on to something that you thought was your manifestation, but it's not actually what you're intending. When you ask for something to manifest something, you think that you know what you want. That's the whole point of this card, right? Divine Feminine thinks she knows, oh, I want this type of job, okay? And the universe is like, that's not what you want. You ask for a career that gives you freedom, the ability to be creative, to be your own boss, These are things you're asking. You're like, I never asked for that. And then you're like, yes, you did. Because whenever you've had a job where those things aren't true, you complain about it. You don't want it. You tell people you don't want it, and you quit or you leave. So you may not have ever written down on a piece of paper, I would like a job where I can be my own boss and I can be creative and you may not have ever written that down. But every time that you chafed or fixated or fed detail into what you didn't want, the universe is like, take note. She doesn't want this type of job. And the angels are like, well, why is she fucking doing it? So, and God is like, oh, we wouldn't have anything to do if they did what they were. If free will wasn't here, we would all be bored. Okay. So divine feminine is realizing, like, if I don't let go of this one specific way of being, thinking, doing, and I keep looking at it over and over, then I'm never going to get out of this situation. Also, y'all, there was a ton of overthinking. For divine masculine had, like, in one position, 3 cards. You're only supposed to have 1 card. And divine feminine, you've got a little overthinking here in the current time period. So what are you needing to walk away from? I really can't make it up. A Knight of Wands in reverse and a Strength card in reverse coming out together. So there's a person or a behavior that you have, and another person in your life reflects this behavior to you. And you're like, what do you mean? I don't cheat on people, and I don't, like, fucking, like, love bomb them and then just be inconsistent, and, like, I'm stable. What do you mean? I'm not like that. If there's anyone like this around you, then you're doing this. You might not be doing it to a person, but you're doing it somewhere else. For instance, are you following your passions, or are you cheating on yourself by doing some shitty job just for the money? Are you consistently every single day showing up for your music? No. Are you love bombing? Are you telling everybody, oh my God, I love music. It makes me so happy to do it. And it's my favorite thing. And I can't wait till the money starts coming in for it. And then when you get up in the morning, you're like, oh shit, I didn't practice. I didn't work on a track, and I didn't prepare anything for the next recording session. Hating this right now, hating reading myself to filth right now. Thank you, universe. Okay. The Strength card in reverse. What's that about? Oh, I need to walk away from this person. He's so egotistical. He's jealous and wrathful. He gets really angry, and he doesn't control his ego. He's sex with other people. He's just like, he's worried about his reputation all the time. I need to walk away from that person. And the universe is like, oh, are you always controlling your ego, or do you let your fears just railroad you into doing shit you don't want to do, or keeping you from doing the shit you want to do? So maybe the person that you want to walk away from right now is really just your mirror that's showing you the things that you're still not doing. You don't have to be perfect at these things to be in union, but you have to understand that if you keep putting the blame of this not happening on someone else and neglecting how you are still thinking about this person this way, because you still think of yourself this way. So if you haven't forgiven yourself for being inconsistent, for not being able to follow through, for feeling weak, for not feeling strong enough to do something hard, if you can't forgive yourself for those things, it's really hard for you to forgive this person. And when you can't forgive somebody, you carry them with you. So you're like, oh, this masculine is spying on me all the time and watching me, and he's obsessed with me. And because of that, he's keeping me energetically connected to him. And so I can't stop thinking about him now because he's energetically thinking about me. And the universe is like, yes, that is what is happening, because I don't know how else to get you to see that you keep doing the same things the masculine does in different ways in your life, because the masculine is an exact replica, a reflection of you. And it might be that, you're the positive side and he's the negative side, and there's parts that, like, he doesn't do and you do, or you don't do and he does, but it doesn't matter. You fit together like a puzzle piece. And that's why you can't stop thinking about them, because you keep using this person in the twin flame label, twin flame journey, you keep using that to avoid what you really need to do, which is stop this. Yikes. Okay. Outcome. Last card, clarifying this Hierophant card upright. This Two of Swords. I've been feeling this Two of Swords lately, so I'm not surprised to see it since I manifest the cards that appear before me. There's indecision here, and it's a decision you don't want to make. So there could be two options. It doesn't matter, though. It really doesn't matter what the decision could be. I want to choose myself instead of this person, and that's hopefully what the decision is. Hopefully this isn't like, oh, there's some other person and this person, and I can't decide between the two persons. Because what you're really deciding is, do I do what feels good to me in my heart, or do I do what feels not good to me because I've always done that? And I have regret, and I love this person. I can't stop thinking about them. And so then I'll feel this way and it'll be bad. And so rather than do anything, I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to block this person potentially, or maybe I am blocked by this person. It doesn't matter. But what's happening is I'm going to stand still, not making up my mind about my higher calling. I am, however, going within. And this is my headspace. So we're not done yet. We just did the headspace, 36 minutes in. God help us all. Let's do the heart space now. Top of the deck, overall feeling of the heart space. Remember, your headspace was thinking, oh, my twin flame union is not working out. And the heart space is like, because of separation, 10 of voices. Because there is no communication, and because the communication or the information that I do have in my brain is information only about separation, betrayal, loss, endings, death. And you're feeling, please let the separation be over. Let this time that I am alone be done. Let this be undone so that I could be in union. This is heart and head. That sounds about right. Niggling feeling, clarifying what it is, this Page of Swords here we're curious about. What are we curious about? Well, we're curious about other people. This is the 5 of voices. Again, 20 energy there, right? And if you look here on the card, there's a bunch of people here in yoga positions. And then there's this chick over here with sunglasses on looking too cool for school. And we've got an olive branch here, which is about peace. And we've got this dark path. And interesting, these hands that are like blocking this eye, like blocking from seeing. This is a card about, we normally see it can be about walking away from something. It can be about feeling defeated, but it is always about being defeated. People will say it's a third party card, like because there's another party in it. The same thing will happen with the 5 of Wands. But the third party, it doesn't matter if that's a person or anything. It's really more about your thoughts. Like it's your thoughts that are defeating you. So Divine Feminine is realizing that, like, just like I said in the beginning, she's looking to see what she doesn't want. And her intuition is telling her this is what's keeping you in separation. You're staying in separation because you're looking for the proof to validate externally your reality of separation. So we have to stop doing this. Okay. Clarifying the 4 of Pentacles in reverse is the Temperance card in reverse. So Temperance is a card that is about patience and regulating emotions. It's about a protective energy. It has an angelic being in it normally that is protecting us and helping us doing the healing, pouring one cup back and forth. between, or 2 cups pouring water back and forth between them, balancing them out. And I feel that Divine Feminine has felt impatient with her lack of stability in the material, impatient with herself for not letting go of something as well. She's like, the only reason that you're unstable and that you don't feel like solid is because of these emotions that you can't regulate about this person or thing that you want so much. Clarifying the 8 of Cups is the heart space with the Ace of Wands. I want to walk away from this. I don't want to stay in a place where I keep seeing the same defeating thoughts. Now, this can even be like, I don't want to walk away from the person or the relationship, but I want to walk away from seeing what I don't want. I keep seeing that. And sometimes the universe has you in a position where you have such an old story, such a toxic old story about somebody. So for me, this whole entire, it's 8:44 on the clock. For me, this whole entire day being like, I just want to tell a new story. I just want to tell a new story. And the universe is like, well, your old story is so deeply ingrained that you may want to just walk away from that person entirely right now and forever in some cases, because you can't tell a new story about them. So you want to walk away from what you've been doing, from the toxicity that you feel, from feeling unsafe, unstable. You want to feel security. That's why this Hierophant is coming up, because this is the ultimate security. And what is clarifying it? So beautiful. It's the Empress. And look, we've even got that same kind of a pyramid imagery coming right there, and it's filled with the cosmos here and this light that's shining right now versus a gorgeous Empress card. So what's really exciting, Feminine, is that your head and heart realize that if you balance out this energy, oh my God, you're not going to believe the next card. If you balance out this energy, it will help you to stabilize. You have achieved a point where your heart is no longer wanting to stay in this blackness. You want to move to a new place. And the new place that you get to move to is learning the lessons of how to come into sacred union and embodying that sacred union in self. And how do I know that is true? Because this card that is following this Empress card is the Emperor. And in this deck, the Emperor is also a feminine energy. So this is the feminine being like, oh, I have to embody my masculine energy within myself. And what is the cure for the headspace is fear that you don't have enough emotional control, that you're impatient about financial stability, that you're not going to achieve stability from what it is that you desire. It's the Emperor. It is the focus that you've had on this masculine energy coming in and being your boyfriend or your husband or whatever. It's detracted you from embodying this energy for yourself. And I'm sorry to tell you, because you're right now, there's something that you're wrong about. And how do I know? Because the universe showed us. You're like, wait, the universe, I think I need this. And the universe showed me I needed this. Yes, but you're wrong about why you need it. You think you need this person because then you'll be happy. There's no arguing with me about that. I don't care how long you've watched Abraham Hicks and know that that's not true intellectually, logically, whatever. I don't care. If you didn't believe that, you would be with the person because you have asked to be with an equal person who has reciprocal energy towards you, who is a reflection of you. And so if you really were in a place where you didn't believe that this was going to make you happy, you could have it. The universe is not going to give you something that's going to confirm your ego's beliefs about it. It won't do it. It will only confirm the things that are in alignment with your highest self. Your ego has a bunch of lies and illusions. Your ego is just your thoughts about the external reality. And you need it so that you can distinguish yourself from others, so that you can create a unique experience here. But it is not God. It is not. It is actually the devil. It is the illusion. It is the opposite. It's antithetical. When God says you can have anything you want, the devil says, no, you can't. You can't. You came from this town. You have this amount of money in your bank account. You look this way. This is the reality of it. You have to have this. You have to do this. There's no way you can do the thing the way that you want to do it, which is the way that I think you should do it. And the universe is like, well, what the fuck do you know about it? You're just a measly little ego here. I see everything because I'm attached to nothing. And I can tell you right now that you can have exactly what you want. So the universe is showing us with this Four of Wands that the completion that we're seeking has to be within self. If you're like, yes, I do want to come into union in self, and that's the most important thing to me, and I don't care about the masculine, but you don't really, really feel that way yet, and it's okay. But I actually think you do feel that way, because I don't think we would see these cards in your heart space. You might not think of it this way yet, but you definitely feel what I'm saying is true. You know, because you've had this experience in the past. You were like, I need this certain car, and then I'll be happy. I need this certain job, and then I'll be happy. I need them to release Harry Potter 7 at point 2, and then I'll be happy. I need, and guess what? You did it. You got it. I have a puppy. She just completely destroyed her stuffed animal all over my floor again. I told myself, oh, when I have a puppy, then I will be happy. You know what? I am happy a lot. And my puppy's with me when I'm happy. And I'm sad too. My puppy's also with me then. It turned out that the presence of her didn't secure my happiness. It is in alignment with something that makes me happy. But when I'm sad and she's still there, does that mean that like I should get rid of her because I'm sad still, even though she's there because I thought she was going to make me happy? So you're doing this with a person. Even though you tell yourself, no, I'm not. I can tell you are because I'm looking at it. This is the Seven of Cups in reverse, and it's clarifying this Knight of Wands and Strength card. And this is your heart saying, listen, you need to let go. Your ego is trying to tell you that this masculine is this errant sexual energy that is just playing with you and, holding on to you, but doesn't have any intention to honor the strength of the connection. And he doesn't believe or see or feel the connection. And so he's entertaining all these other options, et cetera, et cetera. This is what your head is wanting to walk away from, a person like this. And I told you, well, if you want to get rid of a person like this, you have to go find the ways that you do this in your life and get rid of those things one small step at a time, right? If you're inconsistent with your passions right now, then find one small way you can be consistent with it. One small thing. And temptation bundle it. Remember, play with the little children in your brain. They're like, I don't want to do it. And you're like, okay, well, do you like ice cream? Do you like binging a show? Like, oh, you like that? Okay, well, you can do that tonight if you do this. And then follow through with the reward you're going to give yourself. But your heart space is helping you because your headspace is like, oh, he's never going to choose me because of his ego. And your heart space is, you are always chosen. There's no confusion here. Are you kidding me? Who's not going to choose you? Look at you. Look at you. Look what you've done. Look what you have. Look what you've accomplished. You're chosen. You're always chosen. Your heart is like, you are always chosen. And the final card, this Two of Swords, it's the Hanged Woman, Hanged Muse in reverse. So for me, it's like you've been waiting in the standstill, but really it's up to you to change the energy. Like You're stuck in this energy, and really it is up to you to change it. You have to stop waiting. You have to stop hanging on. You have to stop being in suspension, waiting for someone to choose you. You are always chosen. You don't have to wait for this person to choose you. In a way, they've already chosen you. They just haven't chosen themselves. So that's your key to you. Is it choosing yourself to keep focusing and looking at a person who isn't choosing themselves? Because if my masculine chose himself, the person that I'm focused on, honestly, either there's two people that could be my divine masculine right now. I don't know which one. Technically, I do. It doesn't matter. But if either one of those people chose themselves right now, I know by their behavior, words, and in some cases, actually expressing it to me, unlike the other person that doesn't express this directly to me, but in some cases, directly expressing to me that when they feel good about themselves, they will then choose me. Or when their karmic mess is cleaned up, they will then choose me. This is a bullshit thing because that means they're keeping me on the back burner. But what am I doing? I'm keeping them on the back burner, thinking when they're good enough, they'll choose me. Well, what about you? Why don't you choose someone who's already ready? There must be a reason. Maybe you need to get ready. And maybe that means you need to be this masculine energy for yourself. And if you're thirsty, you don't need to get used to being thirsty. You need to give yourself a drink. And that was the thing that was missing from that video I mentioned before. It was a really funny video. And it's true. It is the things that people say to single women. But at the same time, it's like, bitch, the problem with this is you're expecting someone else to give you a drink. And it's never someone else's job to go get you a drink. It's your job. And if you're choosing cups that are empty, you can't drink out of them. They're empty. They need to turn their Ace of Cups up and fill it up from the divine. And you keep going for that cup and being like, there's nothing in here for me. I don't understand. Like, I chose the cup. I'll just wait till they fill it up and then they can choose me. No, there's other full cups that match you. Wow, 52 minutes and I didn't even start the masculine yet. Holy shit. Okay, well, let's get going. Oh my God, there must have been a lot of good shit in that one. Divine masculine, top of the space, overall headspace. Hi, Farine. Thank you for joining. This is not a reading where we answer personal questions, but I bet you're here to ask about somebody you love. Am I right? And if you're here to ask about somebody you love, then you'll find out information because this is going to show you where your energy is right now. Inside of you, you have a masculine energy and a feminine energy. And this is going to show you where your masculine energy is. So whoever person you're fixated on or whatever information you need about them, you can find out from yourself because you're just getting a reflection back to you. So welcome. If you want a personal reading, go to pearlsprayers.com and you can book a personal reading there. I also do live readings on TikTok. Sometimes free live readings on TikTok is kind of spontaneous. But follow me on everything and you'll definitely be able to get a question answered at some point. Next weekend, I will for sure be doing either Saturday or Sunday around 11:30 a.m. or 12 p.m. Pacific Coast time with Grace Strega. We usually do a reading where we answer free questions for an hour. So check that out. All right. Top of the deck. Overall, headspace, divine masculine, justice card. So divine masculine is either dealing with legal situations. It seems there's a positive outcome, or dealing with karmic situations in general. Now, this can be karmic partnerships. It can be jobs, careers, contracts. It does not have to be a relationship, but it can be. This can also be, this is about something being fair. And I have this feeling that right now, divine masculine feels that what is happening is fair. And I'm actually shocked by one of the placements I just realized. Oh my God. Okay. So divine masculine is thinking something right now is fair. If it was like this, he's be thinking about something that's not just, but he's thinking about something being fair. And also this energy of the feminine having clarity and truth on her side and justice on her side. This can also be about him receiving justice for what he has done. And the reason I think that is because of his heart space, but we'll get there. Let's continue in the headspace. The niggling thing in the back of his mind, the thing that's worrying him, underlying all of his thoughts and decisions about everything, is the Knight of Pentacles. This is a knight who sits on a horse that isn't moving. It is not like the Knight of Wands that is swift and fast, or the Knight of Swords, swift and fast. It is just sitting there, and he's just sitting there, and he's holding on to this pentacle. And the pentacle is material. It is real. It is solid. It is reliable, but it's not moving fast at all. It is coming very slowly and very steady. It's almost like we caught this masculine on his journey for a second. He stopped to like look around, water the horse. And the problem is that this masculine does this a lot. He's a perfectionist. He's an all or nothing. And he is always looking for this methodical way to fulfill his material commitments. Hi, baby. I see you. Sorry, my puppers was trying to get my attention. And he is moving, but it's very, very slowly. And this is bothering him. It's bothering him how he's such a perfectionist. It's bothering him how he's moving so slowly. The first thing on his mind, the thing that he's reflecting upon that has happened recently, death. So death is, it's a card that we fear because we fear transitions. And we don't have, culturally, in the West, we don't really have good ways of managing transitioning. We tend to avoid it, numb it, deny it. We don't allow grief experiences to be kind of wholesome and transformative. So we fear death, but death isn't anything to fear. If you have a closet filled with stuff that you don't use anymore, and you have an opportunity to change your space and get new things, and you go to take the old things in the environment that you don't want to use anymore, and rather than just throwing them away because of your attachment to them, you want to go put them into the closet. And you're like, okay, well, I've got new stuff in my living room. It looks good. Now I'm going to take this stuff that I can't let go of yet because I'm so attached to it, even though I don't plan to use it ever again, honestly. And I'm going to go put it in this closet. And you open the closet door and you're all ready to put all your stuff in. And lo and behold, it doesn't fit in your closet, because this is what you've been doing. You keep ending things, not using them anymore, and then keeping them in there. And why do you do that? Well, because you'd have to go to the back of the closet, grab a box, open it up, and go through it. And you would have to be like, remember when I got this? Oh, that was fun. Oh, I'm never going to do that again, though. Like, I guess I should get rid of this. But it was good. There's different ways you can approach that process. You can do it in a healthy way. You can do it in an unhealthy way. And you can see hoarders on TV, and they can't do that. They can't make space for new things because they can't let go of the old. So the reason why the death card is an extraordinarily good card to receive is because it indicates that this person has been able to finally let something die so that they can have something new. And rather than going and stuffing it in a closet and not dealing with it, they actually let it pass away. So the masculine has either experienced an ending somewhere in his life, or with this feminine energy also possible. And this ending has finally allowed a transformation to take place because the dynamic has shifted so dramatically that the way things were is no longer useful. What is currently on his mind right now is the sun in reverse. So this ending although it brings transformation, it has not brought him happiness. So that's why I think that in this case, what has ended has been his ability to experience the feminine in the same way. So I think that there is an old way that they used to relate, and he can't do that anymore. And because he associated that old way with a source of happiness, it's like now he can't find a way. He doesn't have the enlightenment he needs to figure out how to give himself happiness. It used to come from this dynamic with the feminine. But what did I say about that? If someone else is responsible for your happiness, then as soon as they die or leave or go, you can't be happy. So the masculine is realizing this in his headspace. This is really good. Here's some overthinking. Two of Cups in reverse. And the Magician. This is what he wants to happen, okay? He wants to, this is masculine. God. Rather than manifesting coming together with the divine feminine, this masculine wants to manifest that she leave another situation behind. Now, this can, okay, so this is so interesting. Oh, this is so fascinating. So the masculine energy thinks, because remember, this is his headspace. He thinks that the divine feminine has someone in her life. And I think this masculine knows about twin flame. And he thinks that divine feminine needs to let go of this energy that she thinks is her twin. I said I was going to tell a new story today, but I didn't really expect this to be the story. Now, the reason why the masculine feels this way or is thinking this way is because he's been trying to manifest the union with the divine feminine, but he's not been able to. And he's like, I don't understand. I have all the tools. I'm in my power. I believe in the eternal connection. I'm seeking love from a higher power. That energy is moving through me, and I'm commanding it to come here and appear here on the earth. But it's not doing it. I don't know there, Saffron. I see you. But it's not working. So the masculine is like, there must be a reason why it's not working. And that reason must be that the feminine has an attachment to someone else that is blocking my ability to be able to come towards her. And the reason that I know this is because I have had to recently end my own attachments, because those attachments were blocking me from being able to feel my happiness. So I think the feminine, masculine is saying, I think the feminine is in the same place. Want to know what's crazy? Divine feminine in this position right here, clarifying her 8 of Pentacles in reverse. From her heart space, this is why this is so crazy. From her heart space, what she has need to let go of has been like this feeling like she can't provide herself this foundation, even though her heart is like, you are the divine masculine. This is a reflection of you. In the same position on the spread for the masculine, the Emperor in reverse. And why am I happy to see this? Because this is what has died. What masculine has ended is the driving force of his ego, ruthless ambition, aggressive sexual energy, and stubbornness and rigidity. But it was this distorted ego that he thought made the feminine happy. He thought the way he appeared as an emperor was what made divine feminine happy. But remember, what he realized in the present moment is that, so the feminine saw him at his worst. She was like, this bitch is not a divine masculine. This bitch is a karmic, how he's acting, okay? So all of the splendor, all of the glory, all of the regal energy of this masculine disappears. And still, divine feminine is holding on, right? She wants to let go, but she's still holding on. So now the masculine has to admit, what I thought made the feminine happy, the fact that I'm this emperor or whatever, that's been stripped away, and she's still thinking of me. And yet, I can't get this manifestation to happen. What's clarifying the sun in reverse is all the overthinking that you could possibly imagine. The star, the ace of swords in reverse, the 3 of cups in reverse. Oh, why is divine masculine unhappy? Why is he having a hard time figuring out how to bring happiness to the union? Because divine masculine did not tell the truth to the divine feminine about his third party energy. Now, this can be, I'm going to list them. You're all going to be like, oh, he's having sex with someone else. Fine. If you want it to be that, that's your reality. You get to think about your reality any way you want. But this card represents partying, drinking, when it's in its reverse, alcoholism, too much sexual energy. It can be career that gets in the way. It can be anything that blocks the masculine from his happiness. The only reason that you would like for this, and let's be real, you would not like it, which means you're thinking about it, which means you're actually asking for it to be another person. There's a reason why. Because you think, and you're wrong, I'm going to tell you 100% wrong, you think if this person doesn't exist, if they go away, my masculine will come back to me. And so you want to put it on this person. You want to be like, well, that person needs to go away, needs to stop being clingy, needs to stop doing this, needs to stop having his children, needs to whatever. Okay? And then he'll choose me. And that's bullshit. The only reason this person exists is because ultimately your masculine has commitment issues to himself, to loving himself, to choosing himself, to being himself. And if it's not her, it'll be someone else. And if it's not someone else, it'll be something else. And if it's not something else, then you'll be together. So the divine masculine doesn't know how to bring his divine feminine happiness. Even though he has healed this third-party energy within himself, he doesn't know how to show this to her, how to fully reveal this to her, because he's made her so unhappy with what he was doing. He's also concerned that she is such a star and he has these old ideas about this will mean that she will cheat on him, or she will have all these other suitors, relationship potential, etc., because she is just such an attractive energy. And his outcome? 9 of Cups in reverse. So we have this masculine thinking, the only way I can achieve this, which is what I've really been trying so fucking hard to do, is if I stop hoarding my feelings and I stop hoarding my being like protective of my money, and it's 9/11 on the clock, and I fully express to this feminine, this is the only way that I will be able to have what it is that I wish for. Heart space, top of the deck, overall feeling of the heart space, the devil in reverse. Clarifying justice in the headspace. So this could be a karmic partner that has been released, a codependent relationship, codependency with divine feminine ending, divine feminine's codependency on this masculine energy ending because she's the one that's walking away, or needs to walk away, or feels she must walk away. It can be the addiction that he's had, finally, like he's finally seeing justice, like facing his karma from what he's been addicted to. And it can be that he can recognize now that his obsession and fixation on the feminine resulted in the situation that he's in, and he's feeling that that's just niggling feeling. Can't make it up. 10 of Swords. And isn't it interesting how the 10 of Swords in this image forms a wheel, which is like something that turns and it's inevitable. This is the no communication, just like, and in Divine Feminine's case, she is being killed by voices. The voices in her own mind, which Divine Feminine has to tell herself all this story because Divine Masculine ain't saying shit. So if Divine Masculine ain't saying shit, then your headspace is making up all the things that he might be saying. Last night, I was trying to sleep. I woke up at 3, like I always do, and I had to manage my thoughts. I've got like the 2 people that I keep thinking about. And I was literally like, I don't want to think about either one of these people. What do I do? And so I was just like, I'm going to count my breaths. And I would count 1, and then I breathe out 2, and I breathe in 3, 4. And by 5, it would start again. And I'd be like, ah! And then I'd be like, it's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I would get to 6. And then I would start again. And then eventually I fell asleep. That is what you need to do right now. But this is indicating to me, this is overall for feminine, and this is underlying. Divine Masculine wants to end the separation. He's been carried off by this huge fear, which I want to tell you is a beast in this Prisma Visions deck. We might see more of the beast if we get more swords, but this, god damn it, I can't fucking pick up cards. This beast is actually a swan with teeth, and swans mate for life. So this could be an ex-wife energy that he has feared, who's had control, who's had him all caught up or tangled up or whatever. This could be his fear that the feminine will be this beast, okay? But this is what has happened. He wants to end the separation. And look at how the fears carry him away. I love this deck. Prisma Visions. Okay, clarifying the Death card. Interesting. Page of Pentacles. So this is a card about new, something new, because it's the page. So it's like a new material reality. And this card, when we have an ending, that means that something new can come in. And this is small. So because of something that has ended, now the Divine Masculine is feeling like he can start to make those small steps. And embrace that transformative energy and start to make small steps. Now, the other thing he could be feeling is that the reason why Divine Feminine ended things is because his offer was not big enough. Size doesn't matter. Entirely. But anyway, he's worried about, or he feels like things things might have ended because his offer wasn't good enough that he had for her. He didn't believe the offer was good enough. If he was still attached to a swan beast, then of course it's not going to be a good enough offer. Hey, we can't really be together yet because I have to sort out exactly how to get out from under this control of this individual. But like, I just want to sort of like flirt with you over social media until we can do that. Is that okay? And the Divine Feminine was like, you know what? For 10 years, that might have been fine. And now it's just really not. Now it's just a sign to me that I don't feel I'm worthy enough to get this pentacle that you're withholding from me in this Knight of Pentacles energy. So yeah, not good enough, Divine Masculine. And it's not that you're not good enough. It's that your offer doesn't match me. I'm a queen and you're a page? Good vodka. Okay, so that's how the masculine is feeling. What is clarifying the sun in reverse? How? What has kept divine masculine from being able to fully experience this lovely energy? Oh, it's the Knight of Wands. Where did we see that? Oh, we saw that over here for divine feminine. She was like, fuck that guy. And the divine masculine is like, I have to find a way to sweep divine feminine off her feet. I have to find a way to bring our relationship into the light, to fully illuminate it, because it has been in the darkness and that has not been good enough for her. And I have to find a way to do this. I want to be in my most romantic energy, in my most passionate energy, and, you know, come as fast as I can to bring her this happiness that has been denied her. That's what he wants in the present moment. Clarifying the magician and the Two of Cups in reverse is the Hermit in reverse. So his heart is like manifesting that he no longer be alone, that he actually be able to come into this Two of Cups energy, be able to physically be together. It's like he's learned what he's needed to do. He's discovered what he needed to discover. And there's no reason to be alone anymore. This Emperor card in reverse being clarified by the Five of Cups in reverse. And in this image, we see a masculine energy who is, he's got these two cups here bubbling right here on the hill. And then he's releasing these cups into this water. So divine masculine was he was stubbornly avoiding releasing the sadness about what he had done. And he was focused on this process of, honestly, of pouring his emotions into this past relationship or past energy that he was losing, and how that, it's like, he's like, I get this feeling of him. He's like, do you not understand that you are the most important thing to me in the world? But my old life and my past, that used to be the most important thing in my world. And I can't just walk away from that without a huge emotional severance that takes time. And it's not fair to you, but you knew that about me. There's definitely a feeling from this masculine of frustration. That's like, you knew what was in my cups. You knew what I had to pour out. You knew how long it might take. So it's been a long, difficult process for me. And I understand that that's hurt you. And the thing is, you think that I don't feel that, but I do feel that, because when I'm pouring out all of these cups, when I'm tossing these old cups into this emotion, I'm pouring out the sadness I feel for putting you in this situation because of my distortion. What is clarifying the Star and this having to reveal all the truth about your nonsense? Hanged Man in reverse, matching up with the divine feminine Hanged Muse in reverse. This Hanged Man energy has literally been eating the masculine alive. Knowing that his divine feminine is an extremely beautiful, attractive, powerful healer who has the potential to be this star and can attract all, and because he's had all these old ideas, can attract all this other energy. This has been eating him alive this whole time. My masculine would always put on this, one of his playlists, a song that was like, there's nothing I can do to stop me worrying about that girl. Like basically going off and being with someone else while he was waiting for her. So that has eaten him alive. And he's like no longer willing to do this. He's like, I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand waiting. I have to come in. I don't even care that my offer is not big enough anymore. It's like, fine. I'd rather just experience her being like, no, so that I could stop being eaten alive by what's going to happen if I don't come. Clarifying this 9 of Cups in reverse is the 2 of Wands. The Twin Flame card. This is asking for something and waiting for it. And this is, there's nothing else you can do about it. You asked, you can plan, you can strategize, but your plans and strategies don't mean shit until you see the 3 of Wands when the ships actually come in. Your plans and strategies are relevant because you've asked the universe for something and it is cosmically being given to you. It is clarifying the wish that he has. And it's like his heart feeling like only you really are preventing this from happening. Because you just don't believe that you're getting what you asked for. And so you're standing there waiting to see it. And it would come if you would just open up and express what you desire. Holy shit. I have to go in like 40 minutes. So let me quickly do these oracles with you. And of course, it's divine check-in day. So I did all the oracles and wow, bada bing, bada boom, let's go. Divine Feminine, you are in the light attributes of the Virgin energy. This is maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. And you're no longer fear of intimacy, or you're no longer fear of intimate union. So you're not actually fearing the union. So where's the shadow coming in? Eternal child. Okay. So you're not fearing union right now. You're totally maintaining your symbolic purity. This can also mean too that you're not sleeping with anyone at the moment because you don't want to destabilize your potential to come into a union with somebody and have it be monogamous and everything. So you might just not be engaging in any relations. But your shadow attributes right now are that you have an inability to grow up and be responsible, and you have an extreme dependency on others for physical security. So there are some of us that are still dependent upon others instead of trying to create value for of your own in this world. You're sort of seeking out your dependence from others. This could be the masculine that you're trying to attract. It could be just not believing that what you do in the world has enough value. You know, like it took me a while to realize how much value these readings actually have and start to charge accordingly for them, and also realize how much time and energy I put into this job, and that no one should do a job for free, right? But I didn't have this belief in my own value. So you're needing to get into that place. The light attributes of this card are a determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, and the ability to see things with fresh eyes. And I also feel that you're being sort of an eternal child about what's going to happen. That came up in the reading a couple days ago. I think it was the Tell Me Everything reading from Thursday, where the Divine Feminine really needs to release these illusions about this person and how this person is going to be. That's what's gotten you in trouble. I know this for sure for me. For the person that I've been focused on for so long, I had a fantasy of this person, and he knew that. And he was trying to indirectly show me I'm not that good. I'm actually kind of shit. Like, please understand that you have this version of me that is like my healed, healthy version, and I'm nowhere near that. And so you think that's me, but it's not me. And he would give me this information, and I would just be like, whatever, you just don't believe in yourself, or like, you know, and I didn't understand that he was telling me the truth because I was being a child. I was being like, oh, he's a prince. And it was like, nah, bitch, he's not no prince. Bitch ain't no prince. What do you think he needs an angel for? Because he's a devil, right? And why do you think the dynamic hasn't been healthy? Because he's been depending on you to help him clean up his shit. He put you on a pedestal, and you're the reason why. And because you're the reason why, if you leave, he has no other reason to be good. So he's not. Like, when I found out about the masculine energy that I was focused on, like sleeping around, it was after actually I had released him. But I released him because I started to suspect that if he wasn't going to be choosing me, he's probably choosing other people. And then guess what? That became true. But it didn't become true until I released him. I mean, at least from the information I received, maybe it was true the whole time. I don't know. I'm probably being an eternal child. Doesn't matter. the thing is that as soon as I was like, well, you know, I guess I can't be with you, he's like, okay, well, I guess I'll just go be gross then, because I don't have a reason not to be, because he was incorrectly putting his reason for happiness on me. Oh, I love this person and she's great, so I'll be great too. That can be a good motivator in the beginning, but if that's your main motivation, that's a base motive, and the universe will remove the thing you desire, because that is not how you're supposed to behave in this world. So grow up, divine feminine. Start to be a little bit more realistic about your person. Just be like, okay, you know, it's not bubblegum and lollipops and, you know, sunny days every day. This is a person who's super complex, and like, it's silly for me to think that when we come into union, oh, we're married, all the complexity just, you know, goes away, and now he's a Disney prince and I'm a Disney princess with no layers or complexity of my own. When the masculine comes in, does that mean you're going to be good at everything you've ever wanted to do, and that you do it, and that you, I'm sorry. Oh, when the masculine comes in, you're going to have smoothies every day? You're going to do yoga every day? Oh my God, that's awesome. You're going to finally follow the career that you've always wanted to do? It's fucking amazing. What else are you going to do? You're going to get a really big house like you've always wanted? Oh my God, that's so great. You're going to get like cars? You're going to get all your material things back? Oh my God. How? Oh, just by marrying this person. Oh, the thing that was keeping you from doing all those things to take care of yourself and provide material abundance for yourself and enjoy your life. The only thing that was keeping you from that was because that guy wasn't with you, and now he's with you when you have it. That's amazing. How can I get one of those? I would love that. Can I get that? I think, you know what I think it is? I think it's Jude Law as a sex bot from the AI movie that they made there years ago. Jude Law played a sex bot. That would make me happy. That, I would do anything for that. Like, okay, here's Jude Law, and he's just my sex bot. Like, thank you. Okay, that's probably the only masculine in all time that would actually make you happy for the rest of your life. He never dies. He never gets soft. He doesn't have to go a little slower so he doesn't impregnate you. Ideal. Okay, if that's who your masculine is, Jude Law sex bot, 100% when you come into union with him, you'll be totally happy forever. But if that's not who your masculine is, I think you better have a new motive, because your motive has been happiness through a person. But it's okay, because Padre Pio is here to help you with healing so that you can have a new vision. Right now, you have an old pattern of seeing and believing that has prevented you from seeing your person in this new light. If you can't see your person in a new light, then they're an old version of themselves. And the old version of themselves didn't choose you because that old version of themselves reflected back your belief about yourself that you weren't an empress, honey. But you don't feel that way anymore. Now your heart is like, bitch, who doesn't choose you though? Like, really, your problem is people will be choosing you too much. So like, leave that behind. Like, you're absolutely chosen. And the masculine isn't choosing his career over you, and he's not choosing another person over you, and he's not choosing anything, because he's choosing himself just like you choose yourself. And when you choose yourself and you want to make yourself happy, there's a specific person you want to be with. And when he chooses himself and he wants to make himself happy, specific person he wants to be with. Who's that? You. So this whole time you're like, how do I get my masculine to stop being a fucking idiot? It's like, well, stop being a fucking idiot yourself and choose yourself instead of the masculine. And you're like, well, what does it look like when I choose myself? Well, you're not hanging around for anyone. Who does that? And also, are you asking your masculine to wait for you to be good enough? Because you said when your masculine comes in, you were going to do smoothies and yoga and stuff. So are you going to make him wait for you to do smoothies and yoga before he can choose you? Or are you good enough to be chosen right now? And if you're good enough to be chosen right now, then this person that's not choosing you, clearly you need to let go of, because the person who will choose you can't step up until you do. And you know who knows that? Your divine masculine. That's why he's like, I'm trying to manifest and I can't. Why? Because this feminine is focused on a twin flame. And as long as she's focused on the twin flame and she doesn't see me, her own inner masculine energy, she's not going to choose me. She's not going to do the career that I want her to do. She's not going to have the bank account that I know I'm capable of having. She's not going to do any of those things because she keeps choosing a twin flame person to focus on instead of really being super fucking excited and hot about her own self and her own energy. She's not choosing me, the masculine is saying. She's not choosing me. And you're like, what the fuck? The masculine isn't choosing me. And the masculine thinks you're not choosing him because you're not choosing yourself. You're focusing on another energy. But obstacles are detours in the right direction. Yesterday in the Tell Me Everything spread, there was a strange message afterwards when I went back and looked at it. I was like, damn, for the feminine to choose a new karmic cycle. Now, when we hear that in this collective, we're like, oh my God, she's going to choose a karmic? Like, it's going to be awful. No, she's choosing a new karmic cycle. Why? Because she's done learning this lesson with this masculine about waiting. How do I know? Her heart's clear. There's a lot of other fish in the sea, right? He keeps choosing instead of me because that came up for this Knight of Wands and the strength thing. This weak ass bitch just doesn't choose me. Fine. I choose me. I choose me. I choose me. I choose not to wait. I choose to go. I choose to find new opportunities. I choose to take a detour. And I know that will take me in the right direction. And in case you weren't sure about your healing with the Padre Pio card, here it is again. You are healing this tendency you have not to choose yourself. What does that mean? The person you are focused on as a mirror is doing the same thing. These conclusions are within reach is in reverse because you're not seeing the conclusion. You think that the conclusion is out there somewhere, but it's right here. I can reach you. I can adjust this camera right now if I want to. I don't have to get up. When I drop a card, I have to get up to reach it. I don't have to get up to reach this camera or to reach my laptop or any of the cards in front of me. And you're not realizing that. You're like, oh no, it's just out of reach. And the universe is like, no, honey, no. It's right here. You're not reaching for it. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold in reverse. You're afraid to cross the threshold. It's painful to leave behind this familiar place. But look at the state of this place compared to this. Okay? There's no color here. It's just darkness and divine intervention. And it's to go through that door, it's probably going to cause you pain to let go of this world back here. But you know by your eyes right now that what is within reach is so much more fulfilling. To your crown chakra, there's the purples here, the blue to your throat chakra. So there's truth here. There's enlightenment. There's connection to the divine. And you can't get it when you're back here in this underworld. So you need to cross the thresholds. I am shocked. This is the Hanged Man energy in reverse again. Seahorse spirit, watch and wait. The protection message. And the message says, are you holding on to judgment, sure that your perspective is the only correct way to look at things? There are as many perspectives as there are creatures in the sea. And when Seahorse spirit appears, you are reminded to detach from the experience so you can view it from more than one angle. Literally, if you watch the whole reading, you're like, your eyes are rolling into the back of your head right now because that's what I already told you to do. Pay attention to your hidden beliefs and how they affect the way you think, feel, and act. Are you being fair to all involved, or do you need to step back? Perhaps the drama you have been drawn into is your own. Whatever the actions of others, your challenge is to be non-reactive and not take their words or behaviors personally. Their turbulence may have little to do with you, so remain neutral until you know more. Your perspective might be quite different in time. So, whatever your masculine is doing, detach. Don't look for what you don't want to see. And don't let your defeating thoughts about, oh, he's going to choose someone else, or he's not doing anything, or he's not going to go. Like, when I keep watching readings, they keep getting these cards coming up about travel. And I'm just like, oh God, am I going to have to watch this person go to another place again while I'm sitting here by myself doing nothing? And I thought to myself, no, you don't have to watch them go to a place while you're sitting here doing nothing. You cannot watch them and go to a place you want to go. Where do you want to go? Why are you looking at this person being like, why does he get to do what I don't get to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to go somewhere, Pearl? Do you want to go see your family on the East Coast? Do you want to go to a completely different place and have a drink and be at the beach? Well, then fucking do it. Because you can see the masculine do the things you want to do and be upset about him not caring about you and not prioritizing you and not doing any of those things. Or you can just go do those things because you are the emperor. And every time you deny yourself those things, you deny yourself your ability to be your full, authentic self by paying attention to what the fuck someone else is doing. This is the same thing with envy or jealousy, not even with the masculine, but with anyone in your life. Envy is such a beautiful thing because envy and jealousy are a little different. Envy is it's a little gift for you because you see someone doing something and they've expanded you. You're like, I want to do that. If you use envy correctly and you don't turn it into jealousy and you just realize, ooh, I felt a little bit of a pull because my higher self knows I'm capable of this. And I need to be excited because this person has entered into my life. And if this person has a 6-figure bank account, rather than feel envy, I should be excited because that means I'm attracting that energy. And that means I have that potential. So it's coming for me. That is the beautiful gift of envy. When it switches over into jealousy, which is like one level above it, that's when you fear you will never have the thing that the other person has. That's called coveting. That is one of the Old Testament no-nos, one of the sins. I shall not covet my neighbor's wife. I shall not covet things of other people. And it doesn't mean like you can't ever be attracted to your neighbor's wife. I mean, good luck with that. But it means that you shall not be jealous. You shall not believe that that thing that that person has is inaccessible to you. Because for you to do that is to reject God's power and not have faith. And all the sins in the Bible are not about doing specific things. Oh, I did that on Sunday, and so I'm going to be in the 7th level of hell because of that. No. They are about all the ways you keep yourself from having what you've asked God for. And being jealous is one of those ways. Mischief. I like this because I think of Loki, and he's the best. Keep your eyelids open and sight sharp as nails, for there is something trailing behind your tail. Okay. I like mischievous energy. I think it's fun if you play with it. Now, it is chaotic energy, but chaos usually brings change. So I wouldn't fear mischief, but I would acknowledge the tendency you might have to be mischievous or someone else with you. And the message says, Samhain, because this is from the Samhain Oracle, isn't just about dark energy, loved ones who have passed and things that go bump in the night. There is a fun, playful aspect to Samhain as well, a bit of naughtiness and a touch of cunning. There is an element of mischief to the night of Samhain. Trick-or-treating isn't just about candy. The trick comes from an ancient Samhain tradition when villagers would disguise themselves in animal skins to scare away the demons, ghouls, and goblins that were free to roam the earth for one night every year, often playing cruel tricks on humans. We humans are clever, though, and have found a way to keep the goblins at bay. Not all tricks are fun, however, at least not to all involved. Tricks and mischief can be mean-spirited and cruel at times. One must keep a lookout for those who find fun at the expense of others. Pulling mischief can mean a need to adopt a smarter approach to your situation. You may need to get creative to get what you want. You may even have to play a trick or two to get the outcome you desire. Be open-minded about how to overcome your challenges, and if possible, approach your situation with a bit of fun. Problems are serious, but that doesn't mean a bit of silliness can't help you to see it in a new way. Okay, so this energy is definitely like you have to see something in a new way. You keep getting perspective cards. You're getting that you're looking at the situation wrong. You need to play. Remember what I said about the kids? The kids that don't want to do things. And I'm like, oh, let's play this super fun game. And, you know, you have to get into, you're playing a game. If you're not enjoying yourself, why are you playing? You know? And I don't mean go on a live yourself because you don't want to play anymore. Please don't do that. But it's 9:44 on the clock. I want you to ask yourself, why am I not playing what I could be playing? Instead, I'm sitting here waiting, you know, for someone else to play the game and then I can watch the end of it. It's like, no, get in there and start playing. And like, maybe you need to be a little bit in your trickster energy for a change. Like you've been receiving trickster energy and maybe you need to be a little bit more clever and mischievous. Now, the Thoth Tarot is upright. I don't do reversals on the Thoth Tarot. I just don't need to. It's funny. Some decks, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what this deck is saying to me without reversals. But when I get one, I'm like, woo, this is probably something we should pay attention to. So Divine Feminine, you're getting a reversal, and it is an interesting one. It is this guy who the Divine Masculine has niggling in his headspace, the Knight of Pentacles. And it's in reverse because I don't think that you are meant to go slowly anymore. Take breaks so often. Slow down and look at the scenery. I think that you are meant to pick up the speed and actually bring the thing that you have been wanting to create into the universe. And if the only thing you wanted to create was a relationship, that's what your problem is. Because you're a whole person with a whole bunch of stuff to create that's not just about having somebody who you clean up after. All right, let's finish Divine Masculine Oracles. Holy shit, I gotta get going. I got 15 minutes, and he gave me this fucking thing. Hang on, let me just text my assistant here. Text you. Okay. Ash. Hey, I'm running late. Even though I started so early, I'm just taking so long. Okay. Divine Masculine. You're in the shadow attributes right now of the Seeker. You have an inability to commit to a path once found. I don't even have to read this card to you. If you would like to have what you desire, commit to the path. The light is a thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. So you've been looking at something one direction, one way, one path, and you're afraid of it. But you got the you found it card yesterday, and you need to trust it and just commit to this path. Your guardian angels are here to support you with stress management. And we're getting the sweetness card in reverse. So for some, you're being a little too sweet to yourself. You're being a little too self-indulgent. In order to handle your stress, you're probably drinking alcohol or eating a lot of IHOP on Christmas or something. What? I didn't know anybody who did that. Also, they fucked my order up, but whatever. I got $30 off and it was Christmas, so I didn't complain too much. Anyway, you're being a little too sweet to yourself in order to manage your stress management. And you think you're doing such a good job. You're like, oh, I'm being sweet to myself to manage my stress. And yet the things that you're choosing to do are actually increasing your stress. So you need to change how you approach stress management. Also, I feel that you need to be a lot more sweet to the divine feminine who is very stressed out by how not sweet you have been. You've been sweet to yourself and no one else. You got 1, 2, 3 of these universe has your back cards. The first one saying, the universe has my back. Okay? And then this saying, happiness is my birthright and my fearless freedom lights up the world. This is something that you have such a hard time integrating into your belief system. You are a person who has had a lot of drama. That's what you've done. You've had a lot of bondage to drama, to experiences that make it seem like things are bad and sad and not great. And the universe is like, will you please believe this? If you can believe that happiness is your birthright and that your freedom lights up the world, and trust that I have your back, you could commit to the path that you found. Manifestation, coming out with the Magician. The divine masculine feels in his power, but it's interesting because we've got a feminine energy here. So I feel the divine masculine is being reassured right now that the divine feminine is doing her best to manifest her highest version of self, right? This moon here, the divine feminine, she is manifesting her divinity. And when you manifest your divinity rather than a physical version of the feminine, you can have a physical version of the feminine. Again, with the multiple cards, we're getting time to breathe out in reverse. Also with your sweetness card in reverse, it's like, all right, masculine, you've taken a long fucking time to breathe out this bullshit. But this is coming out with the time for healing. It's like, rather than breathe out and just sit and relax, you actually need to do the healing. You keep just like kicking back and drinking a fifth of vodka or whatever the fuck. And that is not taking the time to breathe out. That is indulging yourself and numbing yourself. And you need to actually heal. You're being supported in this. Mirror and Priestess in reverse. And this says, who or what is triggering you? And then you get this gal, the High Priestess, which says, how are you being called to step up and lead? Divine Feminine's role is to trigger you to step up and lead in your life. It's to have desires and feelings and emotions and to require you with this mirroring energy to tune into it and then take action and lead. There is always enough divine masculine, and you're getting the protection message. This is from Koi Fish Spirit. Are you feeling a sense of scarcity, afraid you will not have enough and not be enough to meet the challenges you face? Whatever your outer conditions, they are temporary and reflecting what was set forth in the past. Koi Fish Spirit is your ally in changing those conditions by transforming your inner beliefs about scarcity and plenty. Perhaps you have suffered a loss or are afraid you soon will, or you have been scraping by and feeling there are simply no opportunities available for you to better your circumstances. Koi Fish asks you to find prosperity within you by connecting to Spirit through spiritual practices. Spirit wants to remind you that your natural state is one of abundance. Remember all that you have to offer so that you can generate your own opportunities, love relationships, and even more. Even if you feel you have little to give right now, find it within you to give to someone else, even if it is just a few encouraging words, a smile, or a helping hand. Your action will remind you that you have more than it appears, more gifts, more strength, more wisdom, more abundance. As you give to others, your own sense of prosperity grows and your outer conditions begin to shift in an alchemical reaction. Prosperity and love are yours to receive, experience, and enjoy. Believe it. And you are receiving crystals and herbs. Oh, what medicine, what sacredness to behold, a dash of healing straight from mother's home. So for me, this is needing clarity and I think like complexity, like needing to be a little more clear about what it takes to create something that you're trying to manifest. Let's see. This is number 12. Medicine and healing. This card is an allegory for the profound healing that comes from working with Earth's medicine. Sometimes you have to come back to the basics. Earth energy. This means touching the earth and her offerings, getting to know your crystals, herbs, essential oils, and the ground you walk on, forest bathing or sleeping under the stars, finding a quiet stream or meadow and speaking to your surroundings, talking to your plants or growing new ones. Invite earth healing into your life in whatever way feels right to you, as the earth is always here for you, but like your guides, Mother Nature needs an invitation. Pulling crystals and herbs is an invitation to find a deeper connection with earth energy. Mother Earth is calling you home, and that healing can be found within nature's language. The earth element represents grounding, connection, stability, and strength. Nature nourishes and supports you in all things on this planet. Behold the sacredness that is earth magic. You will feel more replenished as you develop your connection. This message is amplified if you felt burned out, or if you are sleeping but are not rested, full but still hungry, or active but not energized. But this card holds even deeper meanings for you, as it signals you've lost touch with the anchoring of working with earth energy. This message is even more significant if you have also pulled the rooted card or feel called to read it. And I'll just share with you some of the crystals they suggest are carnelian, jet, obsidian, and onyx. And herbs are broom, garlic, marigold, mugwort, rosemary, sage, wormwood, and yarrow. Alrighty. Oh, you got 2 cards. Call upon the voices that stir your senses through the night. Cast an unforgiven howl as you stomp your might through the ground. Interesting. Let me just pull what it says for this card, because I didn't plan to give you 2 cards, so that's weird. And it's also the first card, which is Magician. You're being called to summon your inner magic. The spiritual realm is smiling on you and is waiting to be made use of. You might try working with more profound, darker energies, such as crone energy, or a dark goddess such as Hecate or Morrigan. Calling on a deity regularly will help you develop the ability to summon power at will. Divine Masculine, here is your theme, my dear. The 5 of Wands. What is preventing the 4 of Wands in this image? Holding on to something. This is an idea. And that idea is causing an internal struggle. Where there was balance, there is now strife. So you have to let go of this old idea, whatever it is that's causing you from committing, that's keeping you from committing to your path. All right, we are at the last part of the reading. This is where I tell you, go to pearlsprayers.com to book a personal reading today. You can join and become a member for $3.33 to receive access to the Tell Me Everything spreads and other goodies. There's going to be a message board that's going to pop up and some other things as I develop it out this week. Also access to some of my music that has not been released. You'll be able to hear it there occasionally. And music videos and stuff like that. And what else? Oh, the spiritual nourishment course. Thank you to everyone who purchased during the soft launch. It's still going on until the 31st. The reason that it's a soft launch is because it is being completed. There are some videos that still need to be uploaded for the last 2 sections, but I'm assuming nobody is on the 3rd or 4th week yet, since it just launched last week. And you can, when you purchase it for the price, which is $55, and it's a self-directed course and you keep it forever and you have access to it forever. It also gives you membership to the website. When you do purchase that, you have the option to share it with someone else. But because Wix is annoying it doesn't let me use program or coupon codes or programs for some reason. So I have to do this annoying thing where I open the program up and let everyone join for free at a specific time who is a person who has received like an invitation from their friend to join, so they can do the buddy system together for the program. Because of that, I will let you know if you join today. I will let you know. It's going to probably happen sometime this week, and most likely it will happen again right on the 31st in case there's any last people who have joined the program on the 31st. So once that happens, then they can join and do the program at the same time as you. I just have to make the program free for a window period of time in order to do it. It's so stupid. So bear with me about that. And I do appreciate everybody who's participating in the soft launch, because you're letting me know if there's page break issues or if videos aren't working, and that's why it's half price, because when you share it with someone else, it's only half price. You're gifting it to someone. Thank you. Please go participate in that if you're interested. You can see the whole description of the program, and it really is about tuning into your intuition. And we just start using our intuition in regards to food, because that is our foundation of receiving energy and nourishment in order for us to be able to do anything in our lives. So it starts with food, and it's going to go on. This is the first part, and there's going to be 3 Empress courses and 3 Emperor courses, and then a final course at the end. So that's all unfolding over the next year, but you can start with becoming the Empress today if you're interested. Okay, that's everything. I'll be here on Wednesday for Obstacles Removed and Friday for Release and Rebuild. Tell Me Everything Spreads are on the members only part of the site. It's still through YouTube, but you have to go through a playlist, an unlisted playlist, to get access. And the Grace Trigger reading will happen either Saturday or Sunday, I believe. I'll keep you posted about that. Okay, the final cards. These are the things that you are all in union on, and I have to do this really, really fast. Okay. You're in the shadow attributes of the guide right now. So you're placing financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. So for some of us, that might be like, if you're a healer, that's like my job. If you have my job, you might be worried more about the money you're making and less about getting the messages to the right people. That can be a problem. For the union, though, for its meaning for the union, it's placing your material well-being and your control over this well-being rather than following the spiritual calling to come together, even though your material well-being is not quite in place yet. And the light is to understand that the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. So represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. So understanding that the divine journey is the nature of this life. It's like what you've chosen to experience. And rather than experiencing that, you keep focusing on the material. Your guardian today is Mother Mary, coming out in reverse. This is the inner child really craving safety and security and nourishment. And so the way to get this energy is not to think about your person. In fact, the less you think about this person, the better. The more you think about this person, the more you write manifestation stuff about them, the more you try to manifest. Remember, the divine masculine energy is like, I'm trying everything I can, and I can't get this to happen. I just keep ending up being alone, and I don't understand why. It's because you're trying everything you can to get this to happen, which means you're not believing that you're going to be given what you've asked for, and you're trying to force the energy to conform to what you want. And by doing that, you keep re-establishing the story of what is. By trying to manifest something different, you keep focusing on what is happening right now, which is what you don't want. So to get into a place where you feel safe and secure and nurtured, you're not going to write down a manifestation about how, oh, when I'm with this person, I feel safe and secure, because you don't. If you did, he'd be here. So don't do that. Instead, I want you to find a memory of a time when you felt safe and secure in your life. And it should be, for me, it was remembering my mom letting me make Halloween decorations. I don't know why, but when I thought about that, I started to feel what it felt like to be loved, nurtured, protected. I had everything I needed. I had construction paper. I had glue. I had tape. I had a snack. I had, the house was warm. I could smell dinner cooking. There was, my mom wasn't mad. She wasn't in a bad mood. In this memory, she actually made the decorations with me, which was something she didn't always do. I remembered that for like honestly, it was probably 17 seconds at least. And then after I remembered that, 24 hours later, I received a gesture from a masculine that was causing me to feel secure in our relationship. And he sent me a video of a jack-o'-lantern, which is like exactly what I was picturing in my memory. And I realized that I created the security with my masculine person that I was focused on, not by thinking about him at all. I stopped thinking about him. I was actually like, I don't know if he's really that interested because he hasn't really made any gesture. I've kind of initiated all the conversation. And so I'm just going to leave this. Like maybe he doesn't really care. And whatever, I'm not that invested in this. He's not my twin flame that I've been burning for centuries. So it's fine. As soon as I let him go and was like, it's fine, I guess he doesn't really care that much. The feeling that I had created the 24 hours before, that memory of safety and security, knowing that was possible because I have experienced it before, and then letting go of the need for this person to be the person who gave it to me. And then what happened? I got security from the person. So stop trying to manifest by thinking about your person. Let go of the person. Walk away from the person. Don't focus on the person. And instead, think about the feelings you want the person to give you right now, either from memories, like a Patronus, something that's made you really happy, and it's got to be very powerful, and you got to really feel it. It might make tears come up. It might make you feel happy and smile. It's got to be felt, okay? So it could be a memory from the past, or you can think about something that you really love and that you haven't ever experienced, but you're going to love it. It should not be your person, okay? It should be something you're trying, let's say you want to imagine coming back together with your person, okay? But when you think about it, you're like, that won't happen. So don't think about that. I want you to think about something else. Like, I know that I'm going to see my son again. He lives on the East Coast, and I will see him again, 100%. There will be nothing that will stop us from seeing each other. So I can easily imagine what that'll be like because I'm sure it's going to happen. Now, if I try to imagine that's going to happen next week, that might stress me out because I would be like, I don't know how I can afford to see my son next week. Okay, well, it doesn't have to be that late. All I have to do is think about, oh my God, he's going to be so tall. I'm probably going to cry. He's going to be like, Mom, shut up, because he's 15. And like, he's going to be like, and I can just think about it and like laugh, think about jokes we might tell. Or while I'm doing that and getting into the feelings of something I know will happen that will make me feel very good, that involves a reunion, I'm creating the belief in my head of the potential for that to happen. If I'm thinking about the person I don't believe it's going to happen with, then I'm just really putting one engine going this way. I want to reunite. With the other engine going this way, I never reunite. And this is what's going on. And then every TikTok reading I see says, oh, the divine masculine isn't ready. He wants you, but he's not ready. He's just working on himself and cleaning up karma. And it's not happening. And you're like, why is this the same? And it's because you're doing this. If you want to stop doing this and you would like to go, wee, and actually take the roller coaster and go all the way down, then you have to think about something you have no resistance for. And if you can't think of anything, then think about your bed being comfortable. And safe and warm, if it is. I mean, I've had times when that wasn't true. But if you have food, think about the feeling of being full and satisfied. That is how you manifest. You don't manifest by writing down a bunch of shit that you don't have yet and looking at it and reading it over and over again. I don't think that works. If it did, I think I would have manifested it by now because I've written a bunch of shit down. When you write things and forget about them is when they come true. Like, I'm going to go look at what I wrote down last year to manifest, and I bet half of it will be done, and I wouldn't even think about it anymore. And my dog's on there. I wanted my dog forever. That's there. Okay. God damn it. This is a long reading. Okay, let's finish this up. Hope is the conduit for miracles in reverse. You are both feeling a little bit desperately hopeful. Desperation is repellent. Okay? There is nothing more repellent than desperation. I have experiences with people sometimes who want free services, free readings, free advice. And when they approach me for them, there are those who actually are brave enough to ask for something and not necessarily receive it. But they're like, I know I need this thing and I feel like I can ask for it and it will be given to me. Those are the people that usually approach me with an exchange. They will be like, I don't have the finances to book a reading right now, but I do this. And I would like to offer this to you if that would be possible, because I feel that I need this insight. That is showing me that they value themselves and they're not desperate for me to respond to them. They believe the potential for me to work with them is there. And then there are people that they will try to evoke pity for their situation. They will like be overly apologetic and they will have a sense that they don't think I'm going to grant their wishes. And what's interesting is when I read those messages, I feel very resistant to helping them because I know something intuitively. If I help this person, they're not going to hear my message yet because they don't value themselves enough to ask me for the message without shame. So when I tell them what they're going to need to know, I know that spiritually, developmentally, they are not there yet. And I'm going to give myself away to a person who's in a state of vampiric energy. So I don't feel attracted to giving. I feel repelled. I'm like, I know what this is going to be like because this person doesn't feel they're valuable right now. And I am not at a point where I can diminish my value in order to help you believe in yours. If I diminish my value, then that is actually teaching you the opposite lesson. I'm teaching you that it's okay to give something away for free because I don't value myself or my time. And so that's an interesting thing to keep in mind. If you have desperate hope, your desperation indicates you don't feel valuable enough for the thing that you want to actually happen, or you fear that it will not happen in some way. So you have to relieve yourself of the desperation. There's no desperate thing here. Nothing is desperate. You are inside of yourself always. This energy is not going anywhere. It is within you. There's no reason to be desperate. You've asked for something and it comes. That's how it works. Financial health is in reverse right now. And you got the card about financial gain. So right now, I think both masculine and feminine are at the point of receiving a lot of financial stability. And once they experience this, it's going to help them feel a lot more stability in regards to the union. Both of them are in this state of either finally receiving it or having to learn how to manage it now that they've received it. That's something that's coming for me a lot, is like I'm starting to see consistency in my finances. But my consistency, my Knight of Wands energy, is in reverse. And I feel a bit powerless about how to make choices about my finances. So this is something that both of you have to start to get control over, because love and money are root chakra issues. And if your money feels unsafe or not quite like representative of your value, then that means your love relationships are probably similar in some ways. Alternatively, you might have overly developed one, like you might have put all of your time, power, and effort into the material, and that looks good, but it's not actually granting you any happiness, because instead of healing the love issues, the relationship issues, you focused on your career. And so now all your relationship issues are exactly like they were when you were in poverty consciousness, even if your bank account looks better. The good news is prosperity lies ahead. Now, I don't like this lies ahead feeling. I want you to feel that it's here now. So you have to do exactly what I said. If you want to feel financial health now, but you're always thinking that it's ahead of you, then you're always doing this. Okay? So you have to see your financial health in the current moment. But you're like, well, how can I do that? If my bank account is zero, how can I feel financially secure? Well, don't look at your bank account. That's the first thing. Your bank account is a reality that is manifesting from your past poverty consciousness. It doesn't reflect what you know and feel right now very well. It's really what you were thinking and feeling like before. And it's not even that far before. It can be years before, it can be a few minutes before. It doesn't matter. It's going to manifest what you're thinking about right now. So, again, you can't put like, oh, I'm healthy, my finances are healthy with no, they're not, and get anywhere. So don't think about your prosperity in terms of financial abundance or your bank account or how much you're going to make from people joining membership on your site so that you can have enough stability to not think about your financial health anymore. So don't think about it. Instead, go back to the memory where you felt prosperity before. Maybe you went shopping with a friend who was wealthy. This happened to me once. I had a friend who took me Christmas shopping, and she was like, I want you to buy anything you want. And she's like, she held my face and was like, look at me. I don't want you to look at a price tag. I don't want you to think about it. I just want you to go into the store and try on everything you like, and I will buy every single thing today that you like and that fits you. And I don't want you to argue with me about it, because I want to teach you what it feels like to have freedom with material, because I have it and I know how it feels, and I want to be generous and I want you to feel it. And she took me into a mall and let me go. And I've never had that experience before. I didn't actually spend that much money. I didn't look at tags. I just got what I liked. And when it was done, I had, it was probably $400 worth of clothes, which really isn't that much, it's not. But to me, I was like, I had never experienced that. So if I want to have better experiences with my prosperity now, what would help me is if I just close my eyes and remember what it felt like to go through the racks, pick something out, take it up, and have someone else pay for it, because that someone had security that I didn't understand how to experience because I hadn't experienced that many times in my life. Alternatively, instead of thinking about money at all, which is even better because it's the same thing as is with your person, think about times when there was a lot of food. Okay? You just had Christmas. Did you go somewhere where there was like a shit ton of food, like so much food? You're already full just looking at it because you know how much of it you're going to eat, and you can't wait, and you're excited, and it's fun. And hopefully you don't have body image eating disorder things associated with that. But if you don't, and if you're free, you're excited because there's a mountain of cookies. There's a platter of, homemade noodles. It's everything you could possibly imagine. You get to eat it. And then think about how fun, how much there is for 17 seconds. That's how you get prosperity into your current moment. Within hours, minutes, doesn't even matter. You're going to experience something, a check, a raise. Your job will be, you'll be fired, but it's COVID, so you'll get $600 a week. Like, there's all these crazy things that you will see happen that you'll be like, what the hell? Why? And it's because your prosperity consciousness has been healed, not by focusing on its lack or how it needed to be healed or what needed to be healed, but by going to the times when your mind has experienced the belief you're trying to integrate. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, and deep healing coming out in reverse emphasized. We got so many healing cards. We got the death card. We know something is happening right now. These cards are all in reverse at the end of the reading. And what I told you at the beginning was, when I see a lot of reversals come right out the gate, my feeling is that you are about to transform things very drastically in your life. And I feel that coming out with this card. And then, what the hell? Transformation is beautiful. What did I just say? This is card 11, which is definitely associated with twin flame energy. And we got this 11-11-4-4 as our theme. Joy and the beautiful lightness of being alive and creative in the world is the focus when butterfly spirit flutters before you. Transformation is inevitable as you grow into your most beautiful, empowered self. Indeed, you will go through some uncomfortable stages as you let go of the forms of your life that no longer fit the new you. Even relationships must go through shifts to match your new emerging self. If you focus on the beauty and not the challenges, stop taking yourself too seriously and choose to be playful, loving, and joyous, you will soon know the miracle your soul wants to experience through you. Today is a day for joy. So alight, look around and see the beauty that is everywhere and in everyone, including you. This part about even relationships must go through shifts. It's so interesting because this person that has entered my life that is not the person I associated with my twin flame for so long, that person in the pattern has no past life associations with me. And a lot of my friends do. And it's almost like I shifted to this point where a completely new energy could arrive in my life because I can't see a different ending with the old energy that I've had these incarnations with. So it's allowing me to transform my beliefs about union. Elders is coming out as your healing energy. It says, birthed from seed within the belly of the moon, there the wise felt touches over our hearts and felt deep within the marrow of our spirit. I feel that you both are also elder spirits. Like this connection is one where both of you are bringing a lot of wisdom with you, spiritual wisdom with you. And the other card for this is, or word for this is compassion. It says, elders are wise. They are the ones who've lived and experienced more ups and downs, twists and turns than the rest of us. Elders were the storytellers and keepers of knowledge. They were the ones we sought when in turmoil and who would bring us as we wept, who would hold us as we wept for the unfairness life can bring. They had compassion for us, but also gave sage advice drawn from their decades of experience. Today, many elders are seen as a burden instead of cherished loved ones who deserve the right to be supported and cared for in their old age. Many elders have not been given the space to share the wise words of their traditions because our modern world moves too fast for their slow wisdom. Yet there are those among us, particularly witches, who still see the wisdom in their old ways. If you hold the Elder's card, it is to remind you to have compassion for others and to never disregard someone's wisdom or experience. A Zen saying tells us you should sit in meditation for 20 minutes a day unless you are too busy. Then you should sit for an hour. The knowledge can be applied to wisdom as well. Often the thing you need most when life is moving so fast is to slow down and see what you've been missing, or in this case, who you've been missing. This card is a call to meet with your elders to see if they have wisdom to share about your ancestors that can help keep you on your path. Interesting. Especially for me, because my mentor resurfaced around Christmas time, and she is an elder who I consider to receive a lot of wisdom from. So I feel I'm probably being called to communicate more with her. And finally, your theme for the week after 2 hours and 18 minutes, the Ace of Cups, which is what I told you a lot earlier in the game when I was like, hey, is someone not choosing you? Is that because you keep choosing empty cups? What are you doing? You need to choose a full cup. So if your masculine energy surrenders to the divine and you surrender to the divine and you choose to receive your love, not from any people only. I mean, you're going to get love, but they're reflecting it back to you because you love yourself. If you choose to have love for yourself, then your person can do the same, and then you can share the cups. One of the reasons why the masculine is like, I don't know why I can't manifest this. It might not be masculine because divine feminine is thinking about this other person. I mean, that might be what you think, but it might be because both your cups are being poured out onto the ground, or actually into the sky rather. And no one is getting any love. You just keep pouring the cups on each other. Like, expecting it to turn into love. And that's not how it works. You have to fill the cup, and then the overflow will pour into the people around you. And if there's no overflow, then you will deplete yourself, and then you will have resentment, and then you will not be happy. Okay, I know that it's 2 hours and 19 minutes. I know that it's 10:22 on the clock, but I'm going to do this part because this is the go general part that I think is really helping us. So we're grabbing something for the masculine and feminine that they can't fucking stop thinking about, that is keeping them from being able to think about new shit, which would help them. And then we're giving them what they should do. And then we're going to give them how they can do that in a very general way instead of thinking about the person or whatever. Okay. So I love this. I'm going to do this now at the end of the readings. And even though it's late, I'm going to do it because it's important. Let's do divine feminine first. Divine feminine, you are fixated on something right now. You keep thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And because you keep thinking about it, you keep experiencing the same shit over and over. What is it? The sword and the rose. Clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. So you keep thinking about shit and feeling shit and trying to figure out what the truth is. You're like, is it this one? Is it that one? Is it this? Do I do that? Is it this? How do I do it? What is the truth? I can't take it. I need to know the truth about what happened in my love life. I need to have clarity. I need to have protection. I have to protect myself from ever getting hurt again. Da 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 da. Oh God, what should you concern yourself with instead of this thing that you keep thinking? You're getting heart with a key. And it says, welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, and perfect. And it's in reverse. So you want truth. You want to see who it is. You want to see who your love is. You want clarity about it. You want to figure it out. And the universe is like, I just want you to stop thinking about meeting the one or opening your heart or getting together and having something be perfect, because this is what is keeping you fixated on needing the truth, because you want to find out, is this person the one? Should I get together with them? And is it going to be perfect? And this is not helping you. So how can you stop needing to see the truth about what happened and let go of this perfect getting together thing that you're focused on? Here it is. The Phoenix. New phase, rekindle, renew. I fucking shit you not. Transformation, growth, and a changed mind. And just like I told you, you cannot take this energy and start thinking about your person with it. So it won't work if you're like, oh, I'm going to think about when we've rekindled our relationship in the past. Or I'm going to think about when I had a boyfriend that got back together with me, or that we moved into the next phase. If you're thinking about love and shit and everything, you're going to keep experiencing the same TikTok readings. My readings are going to be exactly the same if I keep thinking about the same thing. So the way that I can go general is I can think about, when is a time in my life that I transformed and stepped into a new phase, had growth, and changed my mind about something that was big or significant. And right now, the thing that I can think of that makes me feel good is when I stepped into Tuned In Tarot. I transformed my lack of financial security, my Lyft job that I was driving and hating, my, kind of not that interested in teaching piano and stuff, but I could do it. So I did it. And I was like, well, I'm making money from music. So that is better than not making money from music. And when I went and took all that, like, mixed up, muddled up, unclear, don't know what I'm supposed to do with my future energy, not really sure what the fuck I'm supposed to do, and think about what happened, I woke up one morning and I realized I had experienced growth and that I had changed my mind about how I wanted to be in the world. I didn't just want to be Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, who, tours and puts out music and, whatever, sees her face all the time and is like, oh, I'm a Leo and I love that. Like, I didn't just want to be that. I changed my mind. COVID made me change my mind. Like, it told me musicians weren't essential, which was bullshit, but it made me think about it. It's like, look, if there's a huge catastrophic event and the only thing I have is that I put out a top 40 record and I've got nothing else, then I feel like maybe what I wanted has changed. Like, it's not dead. It's like reborn. Now I'm a different artist. I'm Pearl from Pearl in the Prayers, coming to you from Tuned In Tarot. That's so different. So if I go back and think about like that and what a beautiful and transformative and exciting thing that was for me to like release something that I had a hold over me for a long time and allow something new to happen that really turned into something that is so fulfilling, then this can happen. All right, masculine, your turn. What do you keep thinking about obsessively? Coffee cup, meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted in friendship. Isn't it funny that this is all you want, divine feminine, and this is all divine masculine is thinking about? Divine masculine is like, I want to talk, I want to converse, but I want to feel uplifted and I want to savor the moment and I want to make sure that we have this friendship and I don't want to do anything that could ruin our friendship. And I want this to be special. I want this to be perfect. I want this to be everything I've ever wanted. So the universe is like, okay, well, instead of focusing on this, here's what you should do. This says not today. We've gotten this for him before. It says not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, call a person, boundaries, and still angry. So divine masculine, you might be still worried about somebody's anger, somebody not staying friends with you. If you're like, hey, listen, I got to go do this thing. I got to be with this other person. You might be putting off this meeting because it's requiring you to have a conversation with someone else. So you're fixated right now on the meeting. We know you are. We know you are because you're fucking trying to manifest this and it's in its reverse. You are stuck. This is where you're stuck, right? And the thing is, you're just doing this. You're trying to get this perfect, savor the moment. The experience has to be perfect. I've got to come. I've got to have the ring ready. I've got to have all these pieces in part. This is just you avoiding it. So rather than figuring out why you're avoiding it or stop avoiding it or try to stop thinking about it, which you're not going to be successful at doing, you need to do this instead. This says acts. It says breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, and abandonment. If our theme is union, what would help you to go general is to think about times in your life when you have separated from somebody, broken up with somebody, stopped the pattern, or abandoned somebody, and they still stayed your friend. They still remained a part of your life. And I actually had, it's Venus in retrograde right now until January 20-something. It started on December 20th. And I had a reconnection with a friend who pieced out in, I want to say, just before October, so maybe September-ish. And this is somebody who's been in my life for years. And I knew that they were not going to go away. They were like, I love you so much. I just need some space. And they took space. And I also knew that type of person would probably not be the one, even though they told me they didn't want communication and they didn't know how long they would need. I knew that they would not be likely to ever approach me, probably because of how they are. Like, I just know that there's an avoidant aspect to my friend. So on Christmas, I was like, I don't care that this friend broke up with me at this time for whatever reason it is. I love this person and I'm going to send her the warmest Christmas wishes and my love and tell her my door is always open. And when I did that, she called me yesterday and everything is fine. And so masculine needs to think about that when he's had a friend that left his life or somebody that broke up with him even. and didn't want to see him anymore. And then it came, and then and it was okay. Then they saw each other again and they were friends and everything was okay. All things were forgiven and it was like starting fresh. Okay. So if masculine tries to think about the feminine in this energy, it's not going to work. If he tries to think about breaking up with his current wife or partner and it working out, it's not going to work because he's afraid. So he just has to think about something completely unrelated. He can even think about a job that's ended. When he got a job that ended this pattern and he realized, I didn't even like that job. I hated that job. And they fired me and I was pissed off and I was going to sue them. And then like a few weeks later, I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even want to do that at all. Okay. So that's what the masculine needs to do to go general today, to stop this back and forth about what's going to happen when he breaks up with somebody officially, has that conversation to let them go, or tells the feminine, hey, I need time to fix myself. I hope we can stay friends during this time. Or, allows the feminine to go do her thing and knows that she's going to come back to him no matter what. He just has to soothe himself by thinking about something completely unrelated, but where that happened to him in the past. That will help. Okay. Holy shit, I have to go. 2 hours and 30 minutes, longest reading I've ever done, I think. Wow. I hope there's a lot of good stuff in there. And I will see you on Wednesday. Take care. Have the best day, everyone. And I see you all coming in to Union. So allow yourself to imagine all the times in your life when you've wanted something, a dog, a piece of pie, going to the fair when you're a little kid, going to Disney World, whatever, something you were anticipating, you were looking forward to. It was so exciting. And then it happened and you got to go to Disney World and you got to do it. And it was so fun and it was so great. That's how you can come into union right now in this present moment, not by thinking about coming into union with your person, but by remembering all the times that has happened and teaching yourself that is possible at any moment. All right. Have the best day. Take care. I shall see you Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday. Bye.